We have a traveling off-road family, Talton Offroad, all the way out from North Carolina, who has been told the East Coast wheeling is much harder than the West Coast wheeling. Since he's wheeled a lot of the East Coast and he wanted us to take him on some, as I quote, hardcore Arizona trails, that's exactly what we plan on doing. We also have Virgil with us, and he's got major upgrades, and this will be a perfect shakedown run for his rig. Arizona is known for its tight canyons, straight up waterfalls, sharp, unforgiving rock, and its slick technical cracks. Being East Coast doesn't have many technical cracks, we figured this would be a good place to start. This crack is extremely technical due to the driver's side wall being undercut, with notches and spots that widen and narrow throughout the whole thing. Having an undercut wall like that gives little to no forgiveness, as you ride the driver's side sidewall right on the edge of the rock ledge. If you were to miss the line, you would slip right into the crack, getting full wedged and taking on serious damage to the chassis and panels. This is legit only my second time on this crack. And if you didn't think this crack was hard enough, well, don't worry, there's a twist at the end. As you exit the crack, it makes a hard turn to the driver's side. When you turn like this, it can actually push your rear end around, especially when you've got water in your front tires. So as you turn the fronts, you have to also adjust your rears to keep from getting pushed off the crack. Second time up that crack, I did it probably 3 times faster, and it felt way better. So this time I did have a suck down in the rear, so I was able to play with it a little bit. Good tool to have, but yeah, super sick crack, and can't wait till the next time I hit it. Here is footage of Virgil from the first and only other time that we ran this crack. He tried to wall ride the passenger side shelf, and he got pretty far into it when his rear axle slipped into the crack and pinned his chassis. He got hung up and bound bad. Although he made it through, he got some serious rock rash to show for it. He is back and he is pumped to try it again, hoping that his new massive upgrade to his buggy will allow him to pull it off clean this time. If you're wondering why Virgil is taking the right line wall ride approach instead of the crack, it's because his axles are way more narrow than mine. Even with how wide my buggy is, I was barely hanging on by just the sidewalls. On the flip side, he is narrow enough to possibly stay on the right side shelf, where mine is too wide. Such a rad obstacle offering up 2 major lines, you have to decide what's right for you. Philip with Talton Offroad watched carefully as we both went through and decided his line was going to be going around, meeting us on the other side, because he didn't have rear steer and he has little to no seat time driving cracks. Did you guys figure out what Virgil's huge upgrade to his buggy is yet? Because I'm pretty sure that's what got him through.
That makes it a little bit easier.
What do you think of that, guy?
A little bit easier.
What's easier?
It's just as fun, just more things to do. Now I'm like a monkey playing on stuff.
What's easier?
Yes, sir.
He's turned to the dark side.
What are you doing here?
Another crack.
How do you do it though? This is like a sheer wall.
I don't know, I'm gonna have to show you. You really just gotta feel it out. Just like every crack, you gotta center it.
You heard it here first. You center it down the crack.
This is one of my favorite cracks because it's so much fun. The passenger wall is straight vertical. The trick to riding cracks is you want both the passenger side and the driver's side tires to be contacting on the shoulders of the sidewalls. This creates a pinch to get more traction, and in order for me to get my shoulders on the wall, I have to send it way up in the air on the passenger side. The driver's side of the crack is a lot lower, and it varies from closer and farther throughout the crack. When it narrows, my passenger tire goes way high on the wall, and as it widens, it goes way low on the wall, as I keep both shoulders of the tires wedged, which looks really cool because my passenger side kind of looks like it does a wave throughout the obstacle.
Man and his crap.
Just a heads up, it's not going to be that smooth.
We got a rear steer newbie here.
This is Virgil's first time running a crack in a rear steer. It takes some time to learn how to drive a rear steer. It's a lot like learning how to walk with 4 legs instead of 2. You're gonna trip a lot in the beginning, but once you're used to it, that's when you have more opportunities to hit harder, more technical lines. Of course, leave it to Virgil to make it look easy. He takes his time and does a good job not overusing it. All that time keeping up with his other rear steers really paid off. As he finishes up, Philip said, "I came here to wheel," and hopped in his rig to give it a shot. If you guys are wondering why there's another wheeling chick on the trail filming, well, that's Lindsay, Philip's wife. They both recently just started a YouTube channel, Talton Offroad and Travel. They travel all over the US and meet up with crazy people like us to go wheeling. Click on the link to their channel at the end of this video and give these guys a like and a subscribe. We love these guys, and we know you will too. He gets up there and then gets jammed in the crack. This guy's got some serious avocados wanting to try to squeeze that big rig through that small crack. He's for sure not afraid to put tires on things. He gave it hell, but knew when to call it, so we didn't end up blowing something up on the trail and turning our day into a recovery. Howdy, howdy, let's get rowdy. If you guys are new to the channel, we go out and wheel the hardest trails in the Southwest. We try to give driver tips and we clean the trails. Today's really special because we got Talton Offroad and we got Virgil. And Virgil now has a rear steer. I know there's a lot of you guys that look up to Virgil as being a really great drag axle driver. Well, let me tell you, he doesn't have to use his rear steer. He's got it so that way he can keep up on some of the cracks that you have to have a rear steer. But this guy's still gonna be a solid drag axle driver, so don't you worry. And yeah, if you guys don't follow Talton Offroad, these guys are legit. They just got into YouTube. It's a new channel, but you gotta check it out. The whole concept of the channel is awesome. They travel across the country with their entire family, and they've got their dogs, their 2 kids, and they've got their rig, their crawler hauler, a camper, and they literally just travel, go sightsee, and then they find places to wheel all over. So you're gonna learn a lot of cool places to wheel, and you're gonna see their adventure. We're loving it, and you're gonna love it too. So go subscribe to them.
Colby has finally met her match and found an equally as rad off-road kid, Elena, and they are living and loving the trail life together today. We are all going to finish this trail and head right to the next. I picked the next trail specifically because when I talked to Philip, he said they don't do a lot of going down trails back east, and it sketched him out. I figured what better time than now to get him outside his comfort zone and learn.
So we decided we're gonna, what's this trail called?
Anaconda!
Here is Anaconda. To be exact, here's a blip of going down Anaconda.
We call that there the stanky leg.
Stanky leg too. So something you don't see too often is the in between the obstacles, and basically this is all that's happening. It's me and Colby walking to the next obstacle. Oh no. Whoops. Where?
High school. Giraffes are tall.
High school.
Just practicing, Jess. So I get my feel for it.
Let me get down here first, okay? Starter fluid. I got some trash. People are trash holes. We're so funny. Oh no.
What's he doing?
He's not past the obstacle before that yet.
So Arizona's a really tricky place. You don't see things like this happen often.
Well, we're up at the line.
Can't go forward. Can't go backwards.
I'm just out here representing the East Coast.
I don't even know what the opposite of a turtle is, but it's not belly stuck, it's, I don't know.
It's a rock in a hard place.
So this is where science figures into this. It is literally high centered on both diffs to the point where he can tilt-a-whirl it back and forth. It's kind of like a seesaw, just a really expensive one. So we got to figure out how to tear this seesaw down and get it back on the trail. You know, we don't get to wheel with a lot of guys that wheel with their family, and I really like their family dynamic of when someone's stuck, they use the whole family to get them out. It's super rad. Philip's the one that got stuck. Now he's spotting and helping, and she's the one driving it out. Super sick. Back up.
Howdy, howdy, let's get rowdy!
We put Philip down his first intentional downhill trail, and he did great. Well, for the most part. It was starting to get hot out, so we stopped at the closest watering hole to let the kids cool off and play, while we enjoyed the shade and chatted. It's really crazy how someone you've never met in person can drive all the way from the other side of the country with a different style and a different rig. Yet, we feel like we knew each other forever. There's something special about the off-road community. It's almost like family you get to choose to be around. We wheeled this morning. We did some pretty cool stuff. It's a little hot. We found this sweet little spot with some water for the kids to play. And I think I'm gonna go drop down. I think I'm gonna drop down that thing. I parked there for cool looks, but it looks like I should be able to drop, and it should be quite the splash. But yeah, we're just chilling, having a little break, and you know, cooling off. It's already getting hot out here in the Southwest. I've dropped this crack before, but never with 2 foot of water in it. I was happy being in the shade and didn't plan on getting wet, but this obstacle had other plans and turned out being a splash.
Turn hard left. Hard. There you go, right over the top. Oh yeah, that's how I would have done it. Oh yeah, big buggy like yours.
We are reaching the end of wheeling for the day, and Virgil's gonna go all in, hitting the crack for his first time ever, really wanting to put the new rear steer to the test. This is one gnarly crack, and he crushes it.
Go. Yeah, buddy! Go.
The only question is, after a long day like this, is what does Philip think now about Southwest wheeling?
Man. And I thought I knew what technical wheeling was until I came out here with the Wreck Gear crew in Arizona. Showed an East Coast boy how it's really done. That is some extremely technical wheeling.
Sponsored in part by BFGoodrich Tires, Warren Industries, KC HiLites, and AXEL Offroad Helmets. Best way to support this channel is give that subscribe button a little skiddly do, diddle that notification bell, give this video the fat finger, and leave a dirty little comment. Thanks for watching.